Hey scientists, welcome to the week of August 31st. You are in your digital science notebook, part one. You're going to have two digital science notebooks this week to do. I broke them down into two notebooks. So here's the first notebook. I would love it if you guys could have this assignment due on Wednesday. Could get it done at the beginning of the week. I want to make sure we can have a conversation about what you learn about in this lesson when I see you on Thursday or Friday. Okay, so on the first page of the slide is the introduction. The video will be plopped in right here. It says in part one of this week's notebook, you are going to learn about how you're going to be assessed in science. Okay? You're going to learn the difference between a summative and a formative assessment. You will learn what the scores 1 through 4 mean, and you're going to learn what you need to do in order to score a 3. That's get a proficient score on the summative that we're going to take on our first unit, the cells as the system summative. Please remember, as you're going through this notebook, there will be spots that I'm going to want you to interact with. If you see a little check mark on a page, that means there's something I need you to do within the notebook. So let's move on to our learning target. The learning target for this lesson is I will understand how to read and understand a rubric. I will learn how to read and understand a rubric. I know I can do this when I can identify what I need to do to score a proficient, that's a 3, on your cells as a summative cells as a system summative assessment. All right, and that's what we're going to work through in this lesson. So I'm going to briefly overview the slides for you. In this first slide, I'm just going to overview what assessments are. I'm going to tell you the difference between a formative assessment and a summative assessment. And on this page, there's a prompt I want you to respond to. Do you think teachers should give assessments? Why or why not? And you can just type over right in here. You can type over where I wrote record your answer. On the next page, I'm going to describe to you what those 1s and through 4 means. You're going to notice that you get scores in all your classes, a 1, 2, 3, or 4. We talk about what each of those scores mean. And then I want you to reflect on a question here. It says if you score a 1 or a 2, which is below where we want you to be, what are some things you could do to get the support you need to get to a 3, which is where we want you by the end of the year, or by the end of each lesson. On slide 6, I talk about reteaches and retakes. Just remember, we always, at MP3, our goal is to get you to a 3 for each topic that we study. And if you don't do it the first time, it's okay. We give you reteaches and you have opportunities to retake your summative assessments. And I kind of describe that here. So take a look and then answer this prompt. And then I kind of go over what rubrics are in general. You're going to get a rubric at the beginning of each unit, so you know exactly what you are going to have to do to demonstrate proficiency. There's a short little video. It's only about a minute long. Watch this. It describes the 4 parts of a rubric. Fill those in here. And then talk about what the advantages of using a rubric are as a student. On our last, so then we're going to take a look at the actual assessment, or the rubric for the assessment you will have at the end of our cells unit, which we are just starting now. So take a look at this. It describes the standard. And just know at the end of the unit, you're going to be able to look at this picture, which is a picture of a cell and all its parts, and know what all of these parts do, okay? Because for this summative, what you will need to know is, what you need to understand is what cells do, what the parts of the cells do, and how they work together as a system. Okay. Oh, I have that slide in there twice, let me get rid of it. Here is actually a copy of the rubric. If you watch this video I made, it's going to walk you through the rubric, and if you want to see an actual copy of the rubric, you can hit the little rubric button or hit that tab right there. And then lastly, you're going to assess yourself. Okay, you're going to look back at this learning target. I will learn how to read and understand a rubric. I know I can do this when I can identify what I need to do to score it proficient on my cell as a summative assessment. So just take this check mark, read these options here, and put it by the one that best describes where you are in your learning right now. And then lastly, you are finished with this assignment. Make sure, as always, you hit the Mark is Done button in Discovery Education so that I know you're finished. And then you can go have some fun before you go start working on your Digital Science Notebook 2. part 2, which will be due at the end of the week. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you have fun learning about your assessment.